Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana continues to push against resistance. So for anybody who's new on this channel, hasn't watched these videos before, we are currently watching if Solana can still extend higher in its current third wave. So if you want a little bit more context, maybe check out my previous video in which I explained the bigger picture scenarios as well. The overall scenarios at the moment, we just want to focus on the smaller time frame because everything else regarding the bigger picture has been said in previous videos, especially the last one which I made today. So you might want to check it out as well. For the smaller time frame, we have bottomed likely in a wave 2 that was in September in one of our trend reversal areas there. The price so far has moved up in an ABC structure that could technically be complete, so it could technically be full. I wouldn't mind to come down now if the price now comes down in wave 4, circle wave 4, into the region between $28.40 and $37. This is still the key level that I would, or the key range I would like to see the price get into in this A, B, C structure. Now, again, that's not a guarantee because first of all, we need to see what the price does with this pivot area here, with this pivot point. The key level is $44.77, and I will explain that to you now. Now, first of all, you need to understand we are most likely in a diagonal. So this third wave has really only done the minimum it needs to do in a diagonal, which is the 1-to-1 ratio, 100% extension level, Fibonacci extensions at $44. So ideally, we see it actually go a little higher, but again, I wouldn't mind because it extended so quickly. I wouldn't mind a wave 4 pullback now so that it can continue its journey afterwards. If we now see an extension from here, which is possible because the micro support did never break, so we never had confirmation that wave 3 is actually finished, okay? That will only be given below $38.30. I did tell you that against the 50% retracement level, we can still extend higher, and the third wave would, if we don't break below $38.30, and if we now see a break above $44.77, a sustained break, then we will likely extend higher to the next Fibonacci extension level. That is at $55. That's the 1.236 Fibonacci extension level. Beyond that, we still have the $63 level, the 1.38 extension. And there is a structural resistance level at $48.30. So it all really depends on this area. It's not as easy as that because this is standard resistance for a B wave. B waves can even overshoot. So this is really not like, okay, we go above it, it's invalidated. It's unfortunately not as simple as that. We have to really give it a bit of space. This is just standard resistance. And you can see it is relevant because the price already reacted to it here at $42.20, but it just doesn't want to stop. So I would prepare for the price to get to the next level at $43.20, $44.70, and then maybe even break above the high. And then we just need to look at the structure. Is it a high B wave or is it an extension in the third wave? To be honest, it doesn't really matter most likely, because after that, we should still see our fourth wave. In an ideal world, we would see a reaction and come down, but the price is again very aggressive. Also, Bitcoin is moving up as we speak. That gives, of course, this gives Solana a little bit more drive, right? Yeah, and if we come down in the C wave, I mean, I can really only give you a target once the B wave top is in. And only then I can really calculate a target for wave C. So if we basically see the first small impulse to the downside in wave C, but I only have an A wave, I have a B wave, I haven't got the C wave target yet. The B wave is probably still unfolding. And ideal target range is really, I mean, we talked about these three levels here, right? $28.40, $32.37. But an ideal level would really be around that $32 range. Reasons are previous swing low, significant swing low. It's a wave 4 low. And oftentimes you see a wave 4 of the larger degree come back to the level of the wave 4 of the lower degree. Also, it's the 38.2 retracement level, and that's an ideal level for a wave 4. So for a wave 3 retracement into a wave 4. Now let's also take a look at, so basically what you need to understand, if we break above resistance, it increases the likelihood for the price to get to 55. either in a B wave or in an extension of the third wave. If we get a pullback, then I would watch for the $55 level afterwards. So at the moment, all the scenarios I'm tracking are bullish, as long as support is holding. I mean, below $28.40, we have to adjust. Support levels break, markets can change. That can always happen. You need to be aware of that. Now let's take a quick look at indicators. The daily is typically quite meaningful. Any RSI on lower time frames, not so reliable. You can see that actually it still isn't producing any bearish divergences, which is quite interesting. It's still pushing higher on the daily RSI. Now that's basically a confirmation for the wave count, because oftentimes we see in a third wave the highest reading. So it makes sense that I'm counting it as a third wave. The daily RSI is showing a record reading here, basically the highest reading since January. Okay, so in January, the daily RSI even pushed to 88. We're now at 84. I mean, I often see people say, oh, it's overbought, it can't go higher. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. They can stay embedded in overbought regions for a really long time, and they can still go higher even if you see bearish divergences. So we haven't even got a bearish divergence. That all is adding to my view here that we still could push a little higher. But bear in mind, it doesn't need a divergence. We also didn't really have a divergence back in January. So they can turn around without a divergence, but just saying that overbought is bearish is wrong. It's the wrong way to use it. It just indicates it's a strong trend. And in a third wave, we often see the highest reading, which is basically what we see right now. And then typically you see in a fifth wave, which would be up here around 78 or maybe even $92, we typically start to see on the daily and more larger time frames, we start to see those bearish divergences develop really, right? Smaller time frame, nothing really to mention. It's embedded in the bullish range. So from an RSI point of view, it's still bullish, okay? So therefore, we have to prepare for extensions higher. I wouldn't be surprised the way this price is developing and behaving. Actually, with the latest push, it starts to look like a little bit like a 5-wave move, but it hasn't made a new high. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it extends even in a B wave or an extension of the third, because it hasn't really maxed out what it can do in the third. But yeah, let's see. I mean, break below $38.30 would confirm that we are really finally in this fourth wave. That's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. As a channel member, you get access to additional short-term market updates. As a gold member, you get access to a weekly live stream. Tomorrow we've got the next one at 5 p.m. UTC. We're going to talk about a way basically to identify coins that are outperforming Bitcoin, Ethereum. Also, we talk about member coin requests, and also you get access to Discord and Telegram, the chat rooms, as well as educational content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.